Hey, what's up, everybody? You are now tuned into T.
And
And it's your girl, Jazzy J.
Mike Diesel.
And we in the building, y'all. Thank y'all so much. Mike is a fool, y'all. Thank y'all so much for everybody that has been liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing the news. We appreciate y'all. We are getting up there slowly but surely. We are growing, and we really appreciate the love, y'all. So thank y'all so much. All right.
What? Why are you looking at me?
Babe, come on.
Hold on. Why are you looking at me, though? All right. Our subscriber shout out is Spiritual Rising.
Hey, Spiritual Rising. Thank you so much for commenting and watching the channel. We appreciate you so much. Thank you. And you are our subscriber shout out today.
Spiritual Rising. Babe just looking at me over here. She's looking at me like.
He knows what to say, y'all. He always does this.
Look.
All right, y'all. So today's video is Dr. Umar Johnson. He is on a young man's channel, and he is talking about the relationship between Africans and African Americans. So we want y'all to check out the video, and we will give our commentary afterward. Here you go.
My family's from Africa, but I was born in the States. So I was able to see how Black Americans treat Africans and how Africans treat Blacks. Not all, but because of how we've been programmed to treat one another. What can we do as Africans and Black Americans to bridge that gap so we can once again view each other as brothers and sisters?
For me, it's about like minds. When you go to Africa, there's some Africans who don't want to stay. Sure, I've dealt with nasty, arrogant Africans, and there's Africans who have dealt with nasty, arrogant African Americans. It's all about consciousness.
Yeah, so we're going to cut it right there. The brother asked a really good question, man. He said, how can we bridge the gap between African Americans and Africans? He said that his parents from Africa, but he was born here in the States, and he's seen the difference. So, while he was growing up here in America, being from Africa, all the teasing that he probably got, that's pretty much just happens, especially in our community. Like, I'm very bright skinned. I was called white boy. That's how I got teased. If you very dark skinned, you're going to get called something else. You know what I'm saying? I don't even like to say that. So, that's what ended up happening. But you grow out of it and you end up learning. I think boys come out of that learning a whole lot earlier. Now, what ended up happening is now that you're older. And now that you're older, you have some people who just don't like the other type of black, from one teasement to another teasement. Boys normally grow out of this thing. I see that girls normally have this thing for their whole life. But you can actually see these guys and these people, from a distance, you know what I'm saying? So he brings up a really good question on how we can bridge that gap. And a lot of times when we're kids, it's hard to bridge that gap. You're getting told by your parents, and then you're being treated a different way at school, and you grow up with that, and for a while till you actually grow out of it. So for us boys, that's pretty much what it is. We grow up out of it. We end up recognizing that, hey, when somebody say my brother, I do mean my brother, because it's a kindred. It's a whole black type of thing. You know what I'm saying? And how Umar says is that you got to look for people with the same type of consciousness as you. And normally you're not going to find that until you're older, till you're in your teens, till after 18, 20, 21, 25, depending on how fast you're raised. A lot of people, we like to say, have that N-word moment, you know what I'm saying, is what happened. And then that, oh, yeah, you are just black like me.
Right.
And that's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? Being black like me being black like you is a beautiful thing. Don't separate yourself from me because of what you may have learned or what you have seen on TV. Because we learned a bunch of negative stuff about, everybody in Africa. Everybody supposed to be pot belly with flies around them. From what we learned, straight up. So what y'all learned about us is probably in that same type of category, maybe in a different whole realm or whatever. But, that's what I'm saying.
Right. I totally agree. With that. Yeah, I feel like Babe, Dr. Umar Johnson, both of them brought up great points. I know being younger, I grew up around some friends that were African, and I know that they, a lot of things go on in Africa where they see the same things that the media portrays of black people, just like Babe was saying, that's what they see. So the media shows them that we're drug dealers, pimps, prostitutes, and pretty much a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them that end up coming to America end up being taught to stay away from black Americans,
Right.
because they're going to be like, they're the people you don't want to associate with, because they have been shown that we're pretty much like the worst people.
Where the kids get taught that? Just
Exactly.
Like we got taught.
Just like we got taught.
A certain way about Africa.
Exactly.
Got taught a certain way about
Exactly.
African
And
kids.
the whole thing was colonization, because white people have figured out that if we can just divide every type of black person, because if you go to Brazil, even China, if you go to all different kind of places, there are black people there. But if they could just divide us to where we are against each other, then that can keep the white race going, and that can keep us down. So I definitely think that was totally a part of the plan. We're not supposed to get along. We're not supposed to like each other. That's why there's always that slave or outside in, inside in
You
thing.
different.
It's always supposed to do that. You don't see white people being like, oh, you olive tone and you pale. Like, none of them do that. So
white people do hate Jewish people.
But I don't even know if they can sit well. Yeah.
Racist white people hate Italians.
Yeah, that's true. They do. That does happen in that realm.
Them, all some type of white.
Yeah.
They don't consider themselves all type of white.
Yeah,
and that's what we can do. We got to know that we all black. We all black first. You know what I'm saying? These Italians, these Jewish people, and these Aryans that they want to call themselves, or Caucasian type or whatever.
Yeah.
They all need to see that they all white.
Yeah.
And we need to see we're
all black. And if we did, we would,
all black.
It would be so much more that we
great.
could stand on if we could do that. Man, that's great, babe. I totally agree. So we're going to stop here and let you guys finish hearing the rest of what Dr. Umar Johnson said, and then we will come back with the commentary. All right, y'all.
You have to meet people who are at your same level of consciousness. There's self-hating Africans. There's self-hating African Americans. But my thing is this. I don't need anybody's permission in Africa to be an African. That's number one. So I never go to Africa asking. No, this is my birthright like it is yours. And if you don't believe that, then I'm just not going to be bothered with you. Okay? At the same time, I understand that the only solution for African people, the only threat to white supremacy is revolutionary Pan-African nationalism. I know that's the solution. The international unification of African people with a strong political economic paradigm, that will explode white supremacy. And because I know that will explode white supremacy, I'm going to work towards that with all my life, all my might, all my energy, and nobody's going to distract me from that, be they African or African American.
So, we back again. The only thing I would do is add on to what Dr. Umar said, and in the fact of, Africa is my birthright.
Right.
I definitely know that and feel that inside of me.
Right.
And know that type of thing. But in the same instance, I would want to say that, was raised in America. So if I go to Africa, I do need to learn how to be more African.
Right.
That I just need a help along on that point.
On their culture.
On that whole culture.
Right.
I need to learn some things. The same thing if you came to America from Africa. It's the same thing. Like you need to know how to navigate in America so you don't get caught up the way we have gotten caught up.
Exactly.
Same thing in Africa. I need to learn some of the techniques, some of the styles, some of the culture, some of the rules and regulations on how things go.
Yeah.
So I can be successful in Africa. And we want to do the same thing for Africans that come to America. So I don't agree with, with the idea of me being just an Americanized as I am, going to Africa and being the same way. And I don't agree with anybody from Africa coming to America and saying this is how an African American is supposed to be.
Right.
I don't want to hear that on either ones. I don't want you to come over here and I want to say, no, this is how African American supposed to be.
Right.
And you telling me that, and I'm African American, and I can't go to Africa saying, well, this is how Africans should be.
Exactly.
And I'm coming to Africa. And you're African. I know. I'm Tanzanian. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know how it works in Tanzania.
Yeah. And that's a really great point, because we have to realize as Africans and African Americans, our experiences have been different. Mm-hmm. What we have, a lot of the systemic racism that we have in America, does not necessarily happen in
Mhm.
Africa because everybody's black. The majority of people's black. So
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about like the police trying to kill you and all the different things that we go through here. And when you do come here, it would behoove you to know some black people so you know that it is totally
know
different.
the lingo. Like, you know you're being
It's
disrespected
totally
right now.
different than how it is.
know?
And we need them because we need to maneuver because a lot of diasporans have been going back to Africa, but with an American mentality. Down there,
And
they
that's
see
just
each other
wrong.
as brothers. They don't see each
Yeah.
other as the N-word. So
Yeah.
we need to learn how to leave that stuff behind if you are one of those people that are going to be traveling to Africa and know that it's a totally different culture. So I absolutely agree. I thought this was a wonderful video with Dr.
Yeah.
Umar Johnson.
And it's so different. Like, we go to Africa, they treat us like brothers.
Right.
But in America, you know, people that's from Africa or the Caribbean don't.
Right.
You know, it's totally different, you know, as grown-ups, you know, not as kids, but as grown-ups.
Yeah, babe, that's definitely true. I know as a kid, having my experience, I remember I had a friend. I'm gonna put her name out there because nobody knows her, but Gladys Isamaco. That was my that was my elementary school
Is that
friend.
the first and last name,
I
right?
say both of them, but there's a lot. That's a common name.
Okay.
But I will say that she was a good friend to me. She was really cool.
Yeah.
But I know I was like never invited to like none of the African
Yeah,
parties,
yeah.
none of the African like it was like stay like you could be friends with her right here in this neighborhood, but it is not going no further than that. And I mean, I kind of understand the fear because they have been taught that. They have been taught the same thing that other people have been programmed, but we got to get out of that. There are, I think, I don't quote me, y'all, but I think there's like 3-something billion people in Africa. Africa's already larger than America and there's already more black people. They try to act like there ain't no black people. We got plenty of them. So if all the black people in Africa and in Brazil and all these places that have black people actually came together and we all were like, nah, we ain't taking this no more, we would outnumber them.
Yeah.
So it's all about just like Grandmaster Jay be saying that be one, like Major TV, like Babe said, be one. It's
Black
all
first,
it's
baby.
your black first. I mean, we got to stop leaning to this. I'm Democrat first. I'm this first. I'm that. We black first. We got to all come together and just like band together for it. So we want to know what y'all think. What do y'all think about this video? What do y'all think about the relationships between African and African Americans? Have you had any experiences? And how do you think we can bridge that gap? We want to hear from you guys. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for tuning in to
And
T. All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all. And we will see y'all on the next round. Peace. Thank y'all so much for watching. Be sure to go follow On the Lookout TV. This is an older video that he had from some years ago, but we think that the topic is still valid today. So y'all make sure y'all go check him out. All right then. Peace.